Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips. I'm still Captain Nips, still playing the BattleTech Backer Beta. And today, we're going back into the game files. We're going to poke around a little bit more.
Welcome, Commander.
And in my poking around, in videos that I've done in the past, there are some mech definitions. There's some mech defining files that let us play with some things that weren't maybe completely cooked. Some of them were mostly modeled correctly and had the art and all of that, and that seemed to be working cool. And some of them were giant pink mechs because they didn't have all their art in yet. So as I was going back through the game files, I noticed that I had overlooked one of the mech game files that had most of its art intact. So today we're going to play with that mech. And that mech, when we go into the list, is the Cataphractii. So it's interesting to me, this particular Cataphractii variant, it's the CTF-1X. And the reason it's interesting to me is this is probably not considered the standard variant of the Cataphractii. The typical variant of the Cataphractii actually includes a bunch of Star League era advanced equipment that will not be available to us at the outset of the campaign game for BattleTech. So it's interesting, they chose instead to not only create a game definition file for Cataphractii that is a different variant that's lower tech, and then include it in the game files that we got here, and then not quite get it done enough to enable it, but enough that it works and is there and has its art for the most part. It's just an interesting thing. Now you'll notice that it has no cost. That's for me. I set it to 0, or technically 7. So that I can buy a bunch. This Cataphractii is an interesting design because it's kind of a weird mixed build. It's got a PPC for longer range poking. It's got 4 medium lasers for good up, close range fighting. And then it's got the AC-10 with a ton of ammo, which might actually be... I lamented this on, I believe it was the Enforcers. A single ton of AC-10 ammo seems like it's woefully insufficient, but we'll make do. So let's pick a bunch of these and let's just smash them into some stuff. So Cataphractii. Now normally the Cataphractii, this variant of the Cataphractii costs about 7.4 million C-bills. So we're taking a pretty sizable advantage. Probably about 3 or 4 million C-bills of advantage over whatever pre-made I want to pick. So let's give them something to work with. Trying to decide between heavy battle and heavy assault. Both of those are real dangerous. The one's got the Atlas in it, but it's got the couple of lights that kind of, not really pulling their weight there. Go heavy assault. You know what I could do? Let's see. That's about 25 million. If that's 7, that's about 3 more. That puts that at about 28. Let's do this. Let's swap out this Vindicator for another Cataphractii. So that let's see what the computer AI opponent can figure out to do with it. Map-wise, I think today we will play on Big Lock. Why not? It's not a really favorable map for a direct fire only lance, but we could probably figure something out. And let's go for Twilight. Why not? And let's play.
Commencing deployment. Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
Now I'm kind of a fan of the Cataphractii. It's the reason I'm a fan is that it's got some interesting builds, canonically, and it's kind of goofy looking without being too goofy looking. The tabletop model is a little more rounded in certain spots, and it's you'll notice as I point and look at the art here.
Initiated.
They're using here the updated, revised MechWarrior Online version of the art, which is good. The tabletop model, the shoulder edges, ridges they have a slight outward bend to them, and then this shoulder part in here is more curved, both outward wise and around from front to back, which makes the whole mech a little goofy looking. I actually prefer this art quite a bit. It's real nice. It looks chunky. Looks like it could do some damage, and looks like its weapons fit where they belong. Now you'll notice that on these particular mechs right here, the weapons are glowing bright hot white, which is probably why they had these mechs turned off in the game files. But I'm pretty sure this will just work. So let's get marching down onto the battlefield and see what we can do with them. Yeah. Autocannon 10 with only 8 rounds is real rough. It's probably one of the few times where you would actually consider stagger firing your autocannon to avoid the refire penalty, just because you can be reasonably assured that you will get to fire most, if not all, of that ammo and still be able to hit with every shot, or at least try. Refire penalties suck. But at any rate, let's see. So in terms of what we're doing here today, so we got the deep water on the right, we got the deep water on the left, we've got the mountain in the mountain, more like island. Let's be correct in our terminology. This is an island. I kind of wanna go for a walking tour along the left side. So let's go do that.
What now?
I had a very early match after the beta had launched where I posted up on this little island here, and I did not know the map. I hardly knew how the game worked at that point, and the enemy team kind of rumbled their way at me from both sides, to the left and to the right, and completely plowed me. And that was an interesting, eye-opening experience at the beginning of the beta. If you do not know what you're doing, you can actually get rolled. Or if you're like me and just have no tactical awareness whatsoever, also could get rolled. So, we're going to stick to the solid, tried and true doctrines of keep our dudes together and blow the crap out of anything that moves in front of them.
Consider it done.
Probably going to end up exchanging some long-range weapon fire in the next turn. Kind of want to move up onto this ridge over here just to peek around on the terrain. This island gives us some cover. Come up along the inside shallows there. Let's see. So, what do we want to do?
I'm here.
I think first we want to move. Let's just move. Actually, you know what? If we're just moving, there's no reason not to sprint. And if we're sprinting, we're not going to fire, so we don't actually want to take up a position to shoot from. So we'll put Sumo there.
Consider it done.
Figure out where everybody is. Okay.
Hey.
Kind of looks like I'm gonna end up having to fight over this little island here. Yeah, so let's take advantage of the cover for now
Here we go.
and make them come out to me, because despite the fact that I have a PPC and an autocannon 10 that may have a bit of range. Oh, look at that. I have no idea if that did any damage. Doesn't look like it.
Ready to rock.
Alright, so could start the fracas now. And actually, Ozone, I kind of do just want to have him plunk down and pick a spot. So let's move him out, and then next turn, let's see, the only thing left on their side is going to be the Atlas, so it could take a shot at him. Or am I misremembering what lance I put up against this? I honestly don't remember. But it's alright. It's alright. We're just going to shoot things. We're just here to play with some cataphracts. We're just here to roll out the barrels, as it were. We've got water, we've got heat capacity, we've got all the guns. Not great chances to hit, but that's Ozone for you.
Firing.
He's fine. Oh, and as per usual, the unfortunate recurring theme of my fights here, evasion, sneaks past my perception check, and I completely miss. Oh boy, right? So here's an interesting thing. Ozone is gonna get shot at. He doesn't have his bulwark yet because he just moved. If I send someone on a sprint right in front of him, which may seem like a foolish thing to do, will they prioritize on the closer target, or will they just try and plow sumo? Wildfire. We're gonna bait you. We're gonna use you as bait. I'm sorry, Wildfire, but we need to conduct some science here. Okay, so that's PPC. Alright, back to the beginning. Got their Centurion. Doing the moonwalk. Okay, so it seems like the enemy team does want to prioritize my
Systems holding.
mech that sprinted forward. So let's get her the hell out of there now, since our friend Ozone is going to have bulwark. But we want to be able to shoot at things, so where do we need to be? This seems like here we go. This seems like a decent spot. Takes away line of sight from the stuff, most of the stuff in the back. Might be a little smidgen close to this Orion, but it's fine. 95s to hit with the long range stuff, 65s with the medium lasers. I like those numbers. There's no evasion, there's no guarded. We are just gonna shoot. And miss a handful of smalls, or mediums. Got some damage in. Seems alright. This guy's gonna back up. He's probably gonna fire on Wildfire. Yep. Oof, jeez. I need to look at the game files again. I'm curious because every game, or every mech in the game that has an autocannon seems to have the burst fire version of the autocannon, except the Orion. The Orion seems to be the only mech I've seen that has a single slug version of an autocannon. I think I need to poke around in the game files and figure out why that is. I don't know that it matters. I have poked at the game files enough to see, like, that there are different variants of the weapon systems, but I haven't done a real close inspection as to what the differences are. I'm sure they differ on things like heat and range and damage and whatnot a little bit. Let's see. Shall we continue to plow this Cataphract? I don't see any reason why not. So, ooh. Cataphracts run hot. So we're probably going to have to get down in the water next turn. Just taking a quick check of the shot modifiers. Yeah, so we'll take this turn. Fire. Are we getting a height advantage? We're not getting a height advantage. That's unfortunate. Probably not enough height. So let's take this shot, and then next turn I'm going to have to move Sumo down. There we go. Opening him up. Meanwhile, Wildfire taking all of the damage.
Commander, I'm hit.
You're fine. Gonna have you move back next turn. Ew. Let's see. Alright, so refire penalty. We don't have the ammo to really spread this out, so let's just turn that off. Fire the PPC. It's a little unfortunate that they all moved back. I can't get my medium lasers in on this, but
Engaging target.
we'll take that. We are going to core out that Cataphract. Let's see what we get. If we go here, looking at 90s and 65s. Go here, same. Go here, 90s, we lose the 65s. So we'll just take 1, 2 steps forward, round the corner. Focus down their Cataphract, because there can only be one team with imposters on it, and that is my team. Thank you very much. There we go. Almost landed some damage to those torsos. Meanwhile, Wildfire continuing to get plowed. We lose anything important?
Stability lost.
Wow. Alright, so you lose that left torso and you are now, or right torso. You are out both your autocannon and your PPC, which is and 2 medium lasers. That is a real bad deal. It's real unfortunate. Also interesting that they didn't take follow-up shots on it.
Oh boy, heavy hit there.
Alright, so Wildfire,
Right here.
I want you to get up. Now you're having kind of a a moment. I understand.
Alright. Back in action.
Let's get you out of harm's way just for the time being.
Double time. Let's
Since
go.
you're kinda down you're down basically all of your armament. Taking shots. Let's see. So let's start with Sumo, since we need to get him down into the water anyway.
No problem.
Got the water working for us, fortunately, because this heat bar is crazy.
I'm gonna give him the big bubble.
And there we go. Bye-bye, enemy Cataphracts. You are not on my team, and therefore not allowed to live. Ozone. Fortunately, I think you are too far back, and as much as I love your
I'm there.
pilot skill, we need you to actually move up and shoot things. Let's start working this awesome, because an awesome in a lake is a bad deal for my health. Buckshot.
Yes, Commander.
Just going to move you up, present a suitable
Moving to position.
target next to Sumo to take some brunt of this weapons fire. Is she going to get it? Yep. So she's got a refire penalty, but she's still got a 90% chance to hit. I am willing to accept that risk.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Ooh, baby. Some nice center of mass hits there.
Indicator shows minimal damage. Try aiming next time. See what you get.
So I think I'm going to hold Wildfire for last.
Standing by. Ready to rock. Waiting for orders.
And if I need to, I'll poke her out and use her 2 medium lasers. actually. I wonder if, would she know? Cataphracts, not known for speed. There's no good way for me to sneak up on these guys. There's really no good way for me to sneak up on these guys. This part of the island is pretty exposed down to the water, so we're going to skip her for now. We are going to... we are going to throw caution to the wind, ignore the stability damage I'm taking on Buckshot's Cataphract, and we are just going to continue to stand and deliver. Alright, come on, more center of mass. There we go. CT open on that, awesome. We like that. Oop, got an armor panel open on Sumo's right torso, which, as we just learned with Wildfire, is not the best place to take damage on these mechs. One of the many funny things about BattleTech mech construction canonically is like some of the designs are really imbalanced in ways that are kind of not helpful. Overheat warning, despite being in the water. I think we'll just drop one medium laser and call it a day here. We got the refire penalty. Yeah, but it's 95% chance to hit.
That's a kill.
Nice. Ozone.
Confirm.
I need you to pick a new target so we can start plowing it. Not particularly afraid of the Centurion, but this Orion has so many guns. So many guns. Refire penalty loses us 5% chance to hit, but still at 85%. He's got 6 salvos left. It's round 7. If this match finishes between rounds 12 and 15, we're at somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 8 rounds remaining. So let's... I've also got a pretty good solid numbers advantage, so I think I will skip the AC, let it cool off from that refire penalty for now. Got plenty of heat skill, fire the rest of it though. And if he lands those hits, that would have been better. All right, so Wildfire. Are we 2 damaged to try and carry on this fight? It's not a lot of health. What if we give up our left side? If we give up our left side, maybe we take some damage on the armor. Yeah, how about this? We're just gonna creep around the corner here. Give up the left side. Use it as a shield arm.
Confirmed.
And continue picking on this Orion. Yeah, there you go. Some nice body shots. Not really working the core, but that right torso would be a good one to pop right off. Let's see where she takes damage. A little bit to the CT.
Can't take much more of that.
A little bit elsewhere. All right.
Standing by.
Since this has just turned into a stand and slug fight, let's just continue to stand and slug. These numbers are great. Still got the refire penalty, but 85s to hit. Actually, you know what? Let's give that a turn.
Here we go.
Come back to it. I know it's only 5%, but I would start to get a little salty if on my last 5 shots with this gun that a few of them missed just because of the refire penalty. Ooh, yeah, I was a little afraid of that. Wildfire's
Hey, we're losing, guys.
Cataphract was in real bad shape. I was worried. I was legitimately worried that that Orion would just turn around and pop it. And hey, look at that.
Yeah?
Prescient. It's like I could see the future or something.
I'm on it.
And yet I did it anyway. Oh, now we're talking. Move movement penalty and a refire penalty. So let's cool it on the gun there. Since we got all the cooling from the lake to work with. Keep firing this PPC. Alright, so ozone. What do your numbers look like? Alright, you lose out on the medium lasers, so we have feel like I should move you up. So let's do that. Move you up.
Move on to receive. Reporting. Critical hit.
Got some motion. Got the Centurion being all aggressive. Taking shots at Sumo.
That was a hit.
Ah, you'll be fine.
Right here.
You'll be fine. But what won't be fine is this Orion that's trying to run away as we continue to spray him with weapons fire. Autocannon 10. Ugh, lords. So I let the guy get away. He gets a slightly different range banding, a slight gap. Drops my percentage to 85 anyway without the refire penalty. Out of curiosity. Oh, so now we're into the minimum range bracket for the 2 big guns, so we're going to skip that. Although, yeah, as much as the 85% to hit with the medium lasers is nice, I think I want to keep the pressure on this Orion in the back. I'm not sure if I have its right side, but its right side's getting chewed up. I want to see if I can continue to land hits there. If I can knock out that arm, that would be great. That sounds like, yeah, there we go. Alright, so knocks out the autocannon, a medium laser, and an SRM-4. Leaves it with long-range missiles, which here they come.
I'm falling. I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm wounded, Commander.
You're fine. Everything is fine.
Orders?
But
Confirm.
I want to kill this. I want to kill that Orion in as expedient a fashion as possible. So, alright, so Sumo's still dealing with heat problems. Or is he? Yeah, he's dealing with heat problems. He's got issues. But I really don't want to let this Orion just kind of sit back and throw missile racks at me over and over and over again. So we're going to go around. You know what we can do? We can punch this guy. Nope. Movement. Punch.
Aye, aye.
No, wait, what? No, that is not at all. Alright, UI. You win this round.
Orders?
That's frustrating. I hate... it's never good. It is never good. The feeling is not good when the UI gets in your way and you do something you hadn't intended.
I got you.
What I was trying to do was make a melee move and then click to position, but clearly that's not the buttons I pushed nor the way the game thought I was trying to express that intent. Oh well. Alright, let's just bang on this Centurion for now. I guess refire penalties. That actually kinda hurts on Ozone with his not quite so good gunnery, so let's just do that. Drop that off for now. Alright, that's just uncalled for, sir. Unacceptable. Buckshot.
Yes,
Buckshot,
Commander.
get up. Get up and murder this guy. Cataphracts, not fast. I'm going to present my left side to... There's just not a lot of good ways to position here. You know what? This a-hole decided to roll up on me, so we are going to start giving him things to think about. He's only got 4 rounds left with autocannon. It's only a coin flip. All of these weapons are only a coin flip because she just stood up and the target moved. But you know what? I'm just going to spend my entire turn beating up the Centurion because he has irked me so. Meanwhile, what's the Orion going to do? That's an interesting move. It's not the move I would have made personally, but we're going to do it. I'm going to throw all the PPC out here because we have the heat scale to work with it, and frankly, there's no reason not to otherwise.
Here we go.
Yeah, didn't think that would land. Got the large laser. Sucka. Alright.
Something I can do.
Sumo. No. Cataphracts. Continuing to be the most, there we go, not spry mech on this battlefield.
On my way.
Dun, dun, dun. Move back, turn around. Land on this guy. Got plenty of heat scale. We don't have the refire penalty. Get all this guns going. Let's see, what has he got? He's got 20 armor, 80. So he's got 100 health in the CT and 65 health on the other torso. So it's 165. I'm going to do 100, maybe 175. I got a good feeling about this. Let's blow it up. Bye-bye. Wow, that was a nice, pretty explosion. The art in this backer beta continues to impress me, even though it is just the beta. I cannot. I've said it before. Oh, sorry, Buckshot. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. I cannot wait for the final game. Cannot wait.
Right here.
In case it was not completely obvious that this was my jam. This is my jam. Speaking of jamming things, I'm going to jam all these shots of weapons at this guy's torso. This Orion's going to have real problems in just another moment. Mostly related to the fact he's probably going to fall
Locking
over.
on with all weapons.
Yeah. Ooh, in stereo. That was weird.
Enemy eliminated.
Thank you, Ozone. So pretty good outing for the Cataphractii squad. Couple of unfortunate losses, especially Buckshot. Man, center of mass just punked right out. But the rest of the team pulled through. Some solid guns, some good river work in relatively short order. 11 rounds, 28 minutes. Kind of throwing caution and salvage to the wind for this enemy team. You scrape some single heat sinks off of the body of that Cataphract, and likewise this Centurion. We managed to leave at least one torso intact on this Orion. And, you know, and this awesome. We managed to keep pretty much whole, so that's not bad. What do I think? I think this is, I like this build. I like this particular build of the Cataphractii being what it is an interesting kind of compromise mix build. It's not too mixed though. Like, it's got a good strong focus of direct fire weapons at short to mid range. I think if I were to do anything I might drop a heatsink for an extra ton of AC-10 ammo, possibly. Aside from that, like, and then, again, this is something we don't know until we get the mech lab. Like, if I could rebalance where these weapons are located, because having everything on the right side, you lose the torso, you lose everything, which is just so incredibly painful. If we could just put the 10 over on the left torso, that would be great. And the model kind of looks like you could do that. But I don't know. We'll see. Won't know until we get the mech lab proper. But for now, a good outing. I like it. This turned out well. And the mech looks real good. Even though the art isn't completely complete, it looks real good. But that'll be all for today's BattleTech in the Morning. I am Captain Nips, as always, and I will see all of you tomorrow.